Let's talk about mom friendship today and feeling alone in motherhood. So you could be literally surrounded by people and still feel completely alone as a mom, especially when you're trying to practice gentle parenting or breaking generational cycles. And it's one of the loneliest feelings in the world sometimes, isn't it? Because you have people in your life, you have family, friends, maybe you're even in mom groups or play dates, but you still feel like nobody really gets it. Like nobody sees how hard you're trying. Like you're parenting on an island. And I have felt like this, mama. So if you sat in a room full of people and still felt totally isolated, I see you. Okay, I've been there. This is real mom life, and I need you to know that this feeling doesn't mean something's wrong with you. Whether you're one of the new moms or whether you've been doing this for years, the mom guilt and the mom burnout are real. You need motherhood encouragement. More than quotes, you need real connection, okay? And before we dive in, if this is hitting home, go ahead and like and subscribe because we are always talking about different mama tips, parenting tips, and I want to make sure you don't miss any of the goodies. So let's talk about what this actually feels like. You might have people around you, but when you try to talk about the hard stuff, the fact that you yelled again, or you're struggling with your child's behavior, or you're just exhausted, or you're just touched out, right? You get these responses like, oh, it's just a phase. You just need more sleep, or have you been trying to be more patient? And those responses, they don't help. They make you feel more alone because they don't actually see you. They don't get to the depth of what you're carrying. So here's what's really going on. You're parenting differently than a lot of people around you. You're doing the work of breaking cycles here. You're trying to be more intentional, more emotionally aware, more connected. And that is beautiful. But it also means that you're often on a different path than your peers. And that path can feel really lonely. Because when you're trying to heal generational patterns and parent with intention, you need community that understands that work. You need people who get it when you say, I'm triggered by my kids' tantrums because of my own childhood. You need people who don't just judge you for still figuring it out. So when I first started doing this deeper parenting work and really looking at my triggers, and really trying to break cycles, I felt so isolated. I kind of isolated myself, honestly, because I just could not relate to anybody, you know? And I would hang out with other moms and we would talk about sleep training or discipline tactics. And I'd be sitting there thinking, but what about emotional safety and regulation? What about their nervous system? And I felt like I couldn't say any of that out loud because it would come across like I was judging them or like I thought I was better than them, which wasn't true at all because I also couldn't connect over like surface level stuff anymore. But I know that every parent, every mama wants what's best for their kids. So it's not that I was judging them. It was just I was doing deep work and I needed people who were doing that deep work too. Okay. So here's what I've learned. It's not that you're failing at friendship. It's not that something's wrong with you. It's that you're growing. And when you grow, sometimes you outgrow the communities that you used to fit into and the friendships that you used to have. And that can feel really scary and really lonely. But here's the other side of it. When you find your people, the moms who are also doing this work, who also get it, that connection is so much deeper and so much richer. So let me give you some things that might help you as you navigate this motherhood fatigue and look for real motherhood support. So you need spaces where you can be honest about the hard stuff without fear of judgment, where you can say, I yelled at my kids today and I feel terrible, and someone responds with me too, and you're not alone. That is what real motherhood support group should look like, right? But a lot of motherhood groups, like, oh my gosh, the Facebook groups, they are so savage. Like, I couldn't handle it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't be in these. They're just like so mean, and everybody thinks that they know that what's best, and they just like talk down to each other. I'm like, nope, I'm not a part of that anymore, okay? So you need to find different ones, okay? Now, you also need to find aligned moms. So this might mean seeking out moms who are also doing the cycle breaking work, who are also interested in like conscious parenting or emotional development. You might find these moms in online groups or in parenting courses, in local meetups. They're out there, I promise you. They're inside of the Confident Mama community. I know that. So you also want to be sharing struggles without shame. So this one's huge. You have to let yourself be seen in the mess, not just the highlight reel, okay? The actual real messy middle. Because when you share the real stuff, you give other moms permission to do the same. And that's where like the real connections happen. So when I started being more open about my struggles, about the fact that I still did yell sometimes, and about the fact that I'm still healing my own stuff, it felt very vulnerable. I thought people would think that I was a fraud or that I had no business teaching this stuff, right? But you know what happened? Moms started reaching out to me and they'd message me and say, "Thank you for being so real." I thought I was the only one. And that's, when I realized that we all feel alone because so many people, so many moms are pretending to have it together. But the second we start being honest, that's when we find each other. So here's what I want you to know, that you're not alone in this. Even if it feels like it right now, there's so many moms out there that are doing this same work. They're trying to break cycles. They're trying to parent with intention and trying to heal while they're raising humans. And when you find these moms, your people, it changes everything because you finally have a place where you can just let go, where you can be seen, where you can be imperfect and still belong. And I want you to know that it's okay if you're in a season where you don't have that community yet. It's okay if you're still looking. It's okay if you feel lonely right now. That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It just means you're in transition. And transition is uncomfortable, but it's also the space where growth happens. So here's what I want you to do this week. Definitely check out my Confident Mama community. I'm going to put it down in the comments section. Or find one space where you can be real. Maybe it's an online group for cycle-breaking moms. Maybe it's reaching out to one friend and saying, "Hey, can I be honest with you about something really hard?" Just one space, one person, start there. Because the antidote to isolation isn't having a ton of people around you. It's having a few who really see you. And if you're feeling alone right now, and if you don't have those people yet, I want you to know that you're not invisible. You're not failing. You're brave for doing this work even when it's lonely. And I see you. I really do. So in the next video, we're wrapping up this series by talking about why parenting hacks always stop working and what actually creates lasting change. Because if you're tired of like all those quick fixes that fall apart week after week, this video is going to help you. If you feel like you keep trying all these things and you're just failing time after time, this is going to be exactly what you need. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, and I'll see you there.